This is Faith and Footsteps. Needs to hear. It's a terrific Tuesday, and it's actually a very foggy Tuesday. Um, and I'm enjoying the cool weather. And I was just talking about on my other live, I just exited it out because I wasn't sure if it had actually went live. I didn't get an alert that it was live. So, but this one I think is live. Um, and I was talking about building your face muscle. I was talking about how we oftentimes try to gain different faith, gain more faith, when what we really need to be doing is exercising the faith that we already have. So that's something that um, is a big is a big deal, because how many of you feel that you're asking God to increase your faith? I don't think that that's a bad thing, but I do think that another prayer could be, Lord, help me use the faith that I already have. Um, there's a scripture, Matthew 17:20, and it talks about uh, mustard seed faith. It talks about how all you need is a mustard seed size faith in order to move a mountain. You can say to this mountain, be ye removed, and it will do it. And I was watching Tiffany Montgomery's purpose planning session. She does it every year. But this year she talked about um, things in the Bible not needing ears to hear, right? So there's many things in the Bible that we talk to that don't need ears. The dry bones in in Ezekiel, didn't need ears to raise. The fig tree didn't have ears, but it was cursed. The mountain that our faith can move doesn't need ears to hear. And so your faith requires you to say something. It requires you to activate the faith muscle by declaring something. Um, and our faith is also built by hearing. So, what are you hearing? What are you listening to? Who are you listening to? Are you listening to the criticisms of other people? Are you listening to the lack thereof faith of other people? And you wonder why you're feeling like, oh, look how beautiful those roses are. And you wonder why it's so challenging for you to actually believe in something, because the people around you constantly contradict what you believe. Constantly. They constantly contradict what you believe or what you're believing for. They're like, oh, well, I've never seen that happen before. Um, so, I've never seen somebody do it that way before and it work. Maybe you should try this, you know? And it's like, but what if God told you to do it that way? And then this person is instilling this lack of faith in you and making you feel like, oh, well, maybe they're right. You know, maybe I misheard. Maybe I misheard God. Maybe I'm not hearing correctly. you know? And and I think that's a powerful thing because if you're not hearing correctly, then you need to go back to the you need to go back to the source. You need to go back to the Bible. So so we can trust that if we've heard God tell us to do something in a way that seems kind of weird or unconventional, right? Most likely, I've already talked about this many times, but most likely, this is something that um, he's wanting you to do. When you change the way that you look at things, whew, when you change the way that you look at things, and you're honestly hearing the Lord, you're hearing Him talk to you from the Bible by reading it, right? Then you can know that you're not in error and that you have actually heard Him. So somebody left a comment yesterday on my live, and they said, "Well, you know, unwavering faith? Question mark. What is that? Faith without works is dead." And I'm like, absolutely. The literally in the same chapter as I was listening again, the same chapter, it talks about how faith without works is dead. So, good morning. And so that was like a big thing too. Like, oh, okay. Well, let's cross the street here, but I don't want the cat to attack you. Good morning. So, yeah, faith without works is dead, meaning if you don't walk it out, like I was saying, if you don't walk out your faith and walk by faith and use the energy that it takes, right? Oh, the revelation I just got right now is that walking takes energy like it does now. I'm walking and talking to you. And if my endurance is not built in this area, then I'm not going to be able to go the distance, right? And so when you're walking out faith, you're going to have to stop and refuel. You're going to have to stop and, replenish. And what you're replenishing on are things that fill your faith. I did a post years ago, might have been a email, I don't remember, about fueling your faith. And there are several ways to fuel your faith. One of them is by reading the word. Another is by like watching things like this, right? Someone is encouraging you to stay in faith, right? Watching a sermon, watching an encouraging message, reading your word, listening to your word, because faith comes by hearing. Um, so, so yeah, keep in mind that um, faith takes energy. Maybe that's what I should title this. Faith actually takes energy. And you have to build your endurance, you have to build your muscle in order to Continue believing for what it is you believe in. Anybody, if you're running a marathon, you need a different kind of energy than you do to run a 5K, right? A marathon, I think, is 26 miles, 26 point something miles, and a 5K is only 3 miles. So if your faith is for something big like a marathon, you're going to need a little bit more endurance. You're going to need more food. You're going to need more fasting. You're going to need more prayer, right? You're going to need more people around you who agree and who can come into faith with you. So, um, so yeah, I think that's very important for us to remember. What are you believing for? And have you built your faith muscle for it, you know, before the race? So I don't know what's going on with this live, but just gonna hope it's saved. Now I have two, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember that um, remember that we live by faith, we walk by faith, and not by sight. Okay, so even if you don't see something happening for you, live by faith and not by sight. I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video, and like the video so that other people can see it. And yeah, I will continue going live and doing this thing I call Faith and Footsteps with you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, you have everything that you need to live your life bravely. Bye.